Hello and welcome to the video. I'm Cyndi and today I'm bringing you the Literary Gladiators Roundtable discussion of Hamlet. This is my contribution. We have this on Kindle, so let me pull that up. That's the complete works of William Shakespeare, the RSC second edition. I have been a great fan of Shakespeare for many years. I used to read them when I was in high school just for fun. I'm a bit of an odd duck that way. Tragedies are not my favorite, but this one is very good. What am I talking about? Of course they are. Romeo and Juliet, which I had almost memorized, is also a tragedy. So I guess I'm speaking correctly about that. Anyway, this play by William Shakespeare is properly titled The Tragedy of Hamlet, Prince of Denmark, and was written about the year 1600. Hamlet tells the tale of Prince Hamlet, who is determined to avenge his father's death at the hands of his uncle Claudius. Claudius had Hamlet's father murdered so that he could take over the throne, and he married his mother, Queen Gertrude. It ends up being one of Shakespeare's longest plays. It's a highly influential story and has been adapted many times over. I did a bit of research into some of the adaptations that there have been, and it looks like there's been at least 50 in modern time. One of them, it's said to be The Lion King, which completely blew my mind, honestly. I did not suspect that. Okay, the play is typically divided into a 5-act structure. In Act 1, the sentries see a figure that they believe is the spirit of the slain King Hamlet, and they confirm this with Horatio, who is friend to the prince. After the ghost is seen again, the 3 men go to tell Hamlet. The ghost tells the prince that he was murdered by Claudius, and Prince Hamlet chooses to play mad and plans his revenge. As I understand it, he just doesn't want them to know what he's up to. I think that's kind of it. Either that or I'm lost, which is entirely possible. As this is only the second time in my life that I have read this. I think I read it for an English class in high school. It was required reading. But in Act 2, Hamlet shows up at Ophelia's door. He's half-dressed. He's an unstable demeanor. She, of course, immediately informs her father. And in the meanwhile, Prince Fortinbras is planning to enter Denmark to continue his father's battle. So he's continuing a war that was fought by his father, but he's warned against this by the King Claudius, and instead he chooses to engage Poland. Hamlet then has a group of actors perform a play that is very much like the murder of his father, so that Hamlet can watch Claudius' reaction to gauge his involvement in his father's death. In Act 3, Ophelia returns Hamlet's letters to gauge his letter of sanity. She's guided in this by her own father. This is also the act where Hamlet ponders the question of life versus death. And so in this part, we have him saying to be or not to be, that is the question. In the third act, Claudius' reaction to the player king, the play that Hamlet instigated, it reveals his guilt. Hamlet argues with his mother, and Hamlet mistakes Polonius, who's eavesdropping, for Claudius and kills him, which is said to be further proof that Hamlet is not in his right mind. That he has indeed gone mad, and that it's not an act. Then in Act 4, Hamlet is sentenced to death. Ophelia goes mad because of her father's death and Hamlet's involvement in that. Hamlet and Laertes are going to fight with an offense, hopefully to the death of Hamlet. That is the king's plan. Otherwise, Claudius will offer him poisoned wine as congratulations. Ophelia then dies by drowning, whether by suicide or tragedy remains uncertain. And in the final act, in Act 5, Hamlet finally avenges his father's death. Gertrude drinks a poisoned cup meant for Hamlet. Fortinbras returns and finds the entire royal family has died, and after Horatio explains all that has happened, Fortinbras takes the throne for himself and celebrates Hamlet as a hero. And all I can say is, wow, it's an incredible story, very powerful, and a little intimidating to read. I was considering watching the play, but that might be something to do early in the day, you know. I'm not kidding. I'm leery. I mean, Romeo and Juliet. I've watched Much Ado About Nothing. I've seen most of the plays. This one is, I think, the only one that I've not seen. At least once. So in this, there are a number of themes that we see. One of them is life versus death, obviously. It deals a lot about death and the supernatural and the possibility of meeting loved ones, connecting with them in some way, and whether or not we can trust. Can we trust our mind? It's a lot to think about. It's a little overwhelming as a story. I do like the part where they put together the play to find out the truth about whether or not Claudius actually killed his father. It's a mad, mad plan that paid off for Hamlet. How would I rank it? Well, I'd say 4.5 because Shakespeare and because I'm feeling in the Halloween spirit still because I'm filming this and it is just about Halloween when I'm filming this. So it's a perfect ghost story to be at this time. I don't really like the story. It's It's deep and it's intense, and it really makes you think about what happens after death. So those are my thoughts. Until next time.